Hello Wolfpack. I want to talk about Bitcoin today because we've managed to just hold on by kind of the skin of our teeth here onto the 40k region, and that is this blue line that we're looking at right now. And as for the green support box, that was the major support box that we've actually lost. So what we've done is we've lost the major support and we've come down and we've held on just slightly to the lower minor support zone at 40k. 40k kind of acts as a more psychological support. As you can see, if you look at the green box, it's much more distinguished. It's much more set in stone as a support. So I guess you could say it's kind of a neutral action, right? We've lost support and we've gone straight on to new support. But the point is we have managed to kind of close just above 40k, which would technically be seen as a bullish close. However, we have to consider that, yes, we've closed bullish and we've closed above 48k, but at the same time, we've lost this ascending triangle formation, right? Very clearly broken that to the downside. And if we take a structured move from that ascending triangle, we can take the first test of the top to the first test of the bottom, apply that to the breakout point, extend it a little bit here, apply that to the breakout point, and we can see that Bitcoin is actually targeting exactly, right, to the T, 30k. Alright, so the target is 30k on this move on Bitcoin, although I would say 33k is the target, right, because that is the local bottom, and we need to be testing that region for support beforehand, so let's just draw a line there at 33k. That is the target for this move on Bitcoin. Now, can this happen right now? Does it have to happen right now? No, not necessarily. The reason being is because, well, Bitcoin has managed to close above 40k going into the weekend, and so there is a chance we can consolidate a little bit on the weekend here. Possibly, if we look at the shorter term time frame, we can even make a push up to say 42k, and the reason being is because 42k, as you can see, is this resistance zone over here, right? In multiple occasions, this is 42k, and so yeah, we could move upwards to say as high as 42k before rejecting back off the top of that ascending triangle formation, right? Something like that, rejection there, head back downwards into the downwards trend. But ultimately, I think the trend is downwards now for Bitcoin, and as for speculation as to whether we retest 48k before we go downwards further, it could happen, and I've spoke about this on many occasions before. Now, my weekly chart would suggest, and the fractal from 2018 would suggest that, hey, we come up and we retest 48, and not actually specifically 48, but more likely the 50-week SMA, which if we go to the weekly chart, we can see the 50-week SMA is actually currently not quite at 48k, but it's currently in the region at around, let's see, 47.7k. So that was what we were expecting, honestly. But that doesn't seem likely now. Now that we've lost that wedge formation, I think that 30k is the next likely step, 33k. I don't think we're going to be coming up to 40k anymore. And so, yeah, I think the dead cat bounce is over. Now, the interesting thing about this move is that, well, and this is another thing that supports we won't drop straight away. Who knows, though? Honestly, I'm not willing to enter any trades right now. The fact that we're seeing, well, descending volume this early in the downwards trend means we could have one more upswing. And so, I'm not fully ruling out a 48k retest yet, but it doesn't seem likely at this point. The target is definitely downwards. I don't see any chance, really, of Bitcoin heading upwards for a sustained upwards rally past 48k at this point, and 48k looks unlikely in itself. So, look, what I would expect for Bitcoin now is 42k and then a rejection downwards, and ultimately we'll be heading to 33k at some point within the next couple of weeks here at Bitcoin. That's my personal prediction. Looking at recent news that's come around as well, the Federal Reserve has banned officials from stock and crypto trades. They say after a series of scandals, but in reality, they banned it because interest rates are being released, or interest rates are potentially being risen in just under a month now, and they don't want to make the crash worse than it needs to be. That is the real reason they're releasing it. That's my kind of my speculation, at least, but that's what I see as the real reason. I don't think they're banning it now because all of a sudden, less than 1 month before interest rates are risen and we go into a potential recession, all of a sudden now they care about insider trading. No, it's because of interest rates, right? And under this new law, you can see officials are prohibited from holding individual stocks, sector funds, basically any kind of asset, including cryptocurrency, and they're not allowed to use derivative contracts. So they're not allowed to engage in shorts or longs. Okay, and this basically is just the evidence you need, because no one's going to be longing going into interest rates, right? Everyone's going to be shorting the market, and so they don't want officials with massive amounts of power and manipulation to be shorting as well, because that means the drop will be larger than it actually needs to be. And if the drop is larger than it actually needs to be, the government is going to be more kind of crap than it needs to be in, essentially. Because, the government at least, they know they've stuffed up. And they need to raise these rates, and they know it's going to lead to a correction. It's already being priced in currently, right? That's why the stock market looks so terrible, because interest rates are being risen soon. They know that this upwards trend is not sustainable, and they don't want to make the drop worse than it needs to be. and that's why they're prohibiting insiders from trading in this period of time, options and futures particularly, because the options and futures have a massive impact in the market, obviously. But look, it doesn't look good right now in traditional markets. I don't even need to talk about it. It looks terrible, right? And we've predicted all of this. This has all been predicted. It looks terrible. That we knew the Fed was going to raise interest rates. We were speaking about it in Q3 last year, right? We knew it was going to happen. It was a matter of time. Now it's happening, and it's going to be taking, until March to kind of see the result of it. And I think in that time, it's going to be priced in. I don't think it's priced in yet at all. And I think there will be one final flush out when it actually does, when the news is released. And I think that, there is definitely a potential here to enter a recession. The DXY is trending upwards. The DXY is reverse correlated to Bitcoin. If the DXY is an upwards trend, Bitcoin's going to be weak. Bitcoin is weak. So I'm not confident in the market at all right now. I don't think the market looks good at all. I don't really have too much to update in terms of TA, other than the fact that, I think we're going downwards to 33K again. I think that the next couple of days, who knows, we could see some upwards move. We could see some consolidation. What I would say is that the critical breaker on Bitcoin is at 44K. Okay, so if we break above 44K, that's going to be a 48K retest. So that's actually, people will say, well, that just sounds like if we break above $1, we're going to $2. No, it's not actually like that, right? If we break above 44K, I'm saying we're going to 48K, which is a 10% move, right? It's an actual valid prediction. So break above 44K, which is this double top formation. We're going to 48. We're going to retest the 50 week. If we break above 48, obviously we're bullish again. But until any of that happens, the trend is downwards. The trend is going to be 33K. So not looking good for Bitcoin, not looking good for traditional markets, not looking good in terms of macro events either. Nothing's really looking good right now. This is a time to be cautious. And this is a time where instead of me trading too much, I'm buckling down and I'm getting to work on that trading course of Mega World Crypto. Get excited for that. We've just started the planning yesterday, or a few days ago, I should say. We're getting it done. And it's going to be great, right? So if you guys want to learn how to trade, keep an eye out. I know you guys would probably think, well, there's dozens of trading courses out there. This is going to be the most extensive, the most prestige course you have ever seen. I guarantee you that. I can't give too much information. We're under confidentiality right now. Me and World Crypto, so we can't give away too much. But it's going to be great. And it might take a couple of months to actually, or maybe even a few months to get in the works, to kind of get released, because it's a big project. We're putting a lot behind this. We're not just going half speed, where we're putting everything we can in order to make this course the best you've ever seen. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video.